You ever start something big, like life-changing big, and then just stop cold? Like your own drive just stabbed you in the back and left for good? You had this burning fire and enthusiasm, but now, gone, before you ever even crossed the line. Today, I'm going to shatter everything you think you know about finishing what you start. Because it's not about grit, it's not about willpower, and it's definitely not about motivation. There's a deeper game you have to play. And if you get this, you'll never quit again. Stay with me. There's no BS in this video, and every piece is going to help you finally finish what you start. Every single time. Let me get real with you. I've worked with hundreds of ambitious people just like you, burning with ideas, dreams bigger than their fears, but all of them, for some unknown reason, stuck in the same cycle. It looks like this. Enthusiasm blast off, launch into the stratosphere, buzz for a little while, and then start feeling like a dud again and fade. Have you ever experienced that pain? It's brutal. The endless loop of starting and quitting. It's not just frustrating, it's soul-crushing. Like a weight sitting heavy on your chest. Like when you can't get a satisfying cough in, there's a voice that whispers, "Why bother? You never finish. You're not enough." I hate hearing that voice. It's like venom that eats away your confidence, at your very sense of self. So you're left wondering, am I even capable of getting things done? Will I ever be able to accomplish great things that I've always wanted? Here's the final point. Subconsciously, this vicious cycle programs you to not trust yourself. And if you can't trust you, who can you trust? That's a bad life to live, and I'm going to help you break out right now. The first thing you need to know is, motivation is a liar. Motivation is a mood, and moods are fleeting. Nobody is ever 100% motivated. You cannot build a life on something so fragile. Finishing, real finishing, isn't about motivation or even discipline, it's about identity. Why? Because when your identity matches the life you want to live and the action you want to take, you require very little motivation and very little discipline. You finish because you are the kind of person who finishes. The Rock doesn't need motivation or discipline to go to the gym. Gym and workouts is a love he's had since he was a child, wired into his subconscious and therefore his identity by his father. A person who chews tobacco, 'cause he's a Marlboro man from Kentucky, doesn't need discipline to put a chew in, and he needs no motivation. He just does it, rain, shine, sick or divorce. He will always do what his identity drives him to do. Period. Think about that for a second. The neuroscientist Andrew Huberman says your brain literally reorganizes when you change your identity beliefs. The neurons fire differently. Your habits start aligning with who you believe you are. But here's what trips most people up. They look at finishing like it's a behavior, when really it's a deep mindset transformation. It's not about doing more. It's about becoming someone who does what they say they will do. No exceptions. Let me share kind of a silly metaphor. Imagine you're a sculptor facing a raw block of marble. Every project you start is a sculpture you've committed to carving. But what if you kept chipping at pieces and walking away? The sculpture remains half-formed, the potential wasted. Finishing is not just completing a project, it's honoring the art within you. Now here comes the challenge part. Why exactly do we bail on things? Why do we give up halfway? I think there's 3 reasons. Number 1, we think trying hard automatically means we're moving forward. Wrong. 2, we start to feel discomfort or a lack of confidence and assume we're doing it wrong and that everything is falling apart. 3, we let that pesky voice in our head pull us off track with self-doubt. Am I right? Those are the lies I want to expose right now. Failure is not quitting. Failure actually means never starting. In reality, quitting is just a signal that your identity hasn't caught up with your ambition. If you want the secret to always finishing what you start, we need to solve that problem. So now it's time for you to finally make the shift. Here are my 3 mindset shifts to help you flip your finishing switch on permanently. Number 1, redefine discipline as freedom through commitment. Discipline isn't punishment. It's your declaration to yourself that your word matters and can be taken seriously, especially when you give your word to your own self. Discipline isn't pain, it's you keeping a promise to yourself and being your own best friend. When you decide to commit to something, and I mean really full send it, your brain releases dopamine before you start because it's expecting a reward. Did you hear that? Before you even start? That means discipline becomes pleasure, not pain. All that brain pain you feel before starting is only short-lived. Push through it and it transforms. Number 2, internalize this phrase. Progress is better than perfection. Too many people wait to feel ready or be perfect. The reality is, ready doesn't really exist. I can tell you firsthand that when you're about to engage in something meaningful, you never feel ready. You just proceed with the confidence that your preparation gives you. Before football games, wrestling matches when I was a kid, or even showing up and giving speeches to crowds now, I never feel ready. I feel prepared and confident because of the preparation. I did my due diligence and whatever happens, happens. Perfection is a myth that kills your finishing spirit. Tai Lopez said that procrastination is the #1 killer of dreams. He even went so far as to call it the procrastination demon. So what's the solution? Get messy and do the ugly work. Brian Tracy calls it swallowing the frog. You wake up and the first thing you do in the morning is the hard thing that needs to be done. The thing you're prone to putting off. Take it out first and be done with it. Your brain rewards action. So even tiny imperfect steps are far better for you than waiting on some mythical idea of showing up flawless. Number 3. Get used to building identity rituals. Small actions tied to who you are, who you're becoming. If you want to be someone who finishes what they start, every single time, create rituals that force you to become that. In other words, set up behaviors and habits that are non-negotiable. Maybe it's showing up at the desk every morning at 6 a.m. or writing a paragraph before breakfast. These rituals wire your brain to expect you to follow through. It's that simple. Behavior rewires identity over time. It's the key to transformation. Okay, pay attention, because we're about to get deep and tactical. Here are some secret weapons that will help you. Micro-commitments. Break your goals into ridiculously small tasks, like writing 1 sentence a day. The goal here isn't the outcome, but the habit of showing up. This builds momentum, rewires your brain, and floods your system with confidence. It seems nonsensical, like how the hell would 1 sentence ever make a difference, but micro-commitments really excel when you're trying to reprogram an entire routine full of several habits that reshape your identity. You might want to lose 10 pounds, write a book and read a book all at the same time. All of those at once is too much brain pain to handle, and most people will just give up after a couple days. So you use the power of micro-commitments to rewire yourself for all 3 things simultaneously, but in such a small way that it's basically harmless. It's actually pretty genius. Next, use emotional deadlines. Build consequences into the journey that you can really feel. Don't just set a deadline, tie it to a real emotional consequence. Tell someone important to you, a mentor, a loved one, someone you deeply respect, exactly what you're finishing and by when. Then say this: if I don't follow through, I want you to call me out, publicly if you have to. Why? Because pain is a sharper motivator than logic. Your brain avoids shame like fire. If there's a relational cost to quitting, you'll think twice. This isn't guilt tripping, it's emotional leverage. Make quitting emotionally expensive. That's how you train your nervous system to finish. Sounds scary? Exactly, that's why it's so effective. Next, do visual progress tracking, and it's pretty simple, but people don't do it for some weird reason. Just use a calendar or app and mark every day you work. And last but not least, change your circle, change your outcome. You want to finish what you start? Look around. Who are you surrounded by? Because identity is contagious. If you're always around people who quit, make excuses, and chase dopamine over discipline, you will absorb that energy from them. Your environment is programming you, whether you realize it or not. You don't need to be in a group of wishy-washy, flimsy characters. You need people who live what they speak, people who finish, who hold the line when it's hard, who make growth their default setting. When you're around people you respect, and they naturally set a get-it-done standard, you will rise to that standard as well. So change your circle, and your standards will shift automatically and fast. You won't want to be the weak link. You'll rise, or you'll leave. That's simple. And it's not just people that you need to reorganize either. It's your physical space too. Is your environment set up to pull you forward or distract you to death? Make your space a place of follow-through. Put reminders of who you're becoming in your line of sight. Get rid of digital noise. Set your life up so quitting feels like it doesn't even make sense anymore. Finishing becomes a whole lot easier when you're not the only one in the room obsessed with becoming unstoppable. It's like when everyone around you shares that same drive, it just kind of lifts you up, doesn't it? Alright, here's the hard part. None of this works if you don't get this right. Confront your fears. We're talking about the fear of failure, the fear of success, the fear of judgment, and even the fear that you're not actually capable. By the way, I've got videos about all those on my channel, so go check those out if you haven't already. Here's an expert opinion for you. Psychologist Brené Brown says courage means showing up and letting yourself be seen. It's such a powerful thought, isn't it? Just being there, letting the world see who you truly are. Finishing means showing up for yourself, over and over, even when your mind screams quit. This is why identity is the keystone of finishing what you start. You don't just do the work, you become the person who does the work, no matter what. The person who finishes, even when scared, tired, or uncertain. Identity is the one true secret to all transformation. Pause for a moment. Have you ever noticed how some people finish projects with a quiet, relentless focus and drive? Not because they want applause, but because breaking their own promise feels like death. Not being able to trust yourself destroys your life eventually. So everything we've talked about today, it needs to get personal or you're toast. I mean, seriously a goner, so really take this seriously. Maybe this isn't the first video you've watched, or the first time you've thought about what really causes you to quit every single time you want something good for yourself. Please listen to me when I say, just make this the last time and end it. End the self-betrayal right now. Trust me, when I made finishing non-negotiable, when I rewired my identity, everything changed. And this is your invitation. Find your reason, your deep, burning reason, something so powerful that quitting feels like death. It doesn't matter what you want to do. Whatever it is, you need to make up some grandiose story about how quitting on yourself this time means death. Exaggerate, become hyperbolic, even delusional. Whatever it takes, man, become a big baby about it. Tell yourself stuff like, if I don't wake up and get this done, that's just one more vote cast for the quitter I'll always be. And quitters never amount to anything. Say intense stuff like that to yourself every time it feels better to cave than to push through. Being a little delusional about life helps a lot, actually. That's one of my secrets. Philosopher William James said, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes." Every decision you make to finish what you start rewires your brain and, well, rewires your life. So let me ask you, who do you want to be? The person who lets dreams fade? Or the warrior who finishes? The dreamer who bails? Or the finisher who scars and triumphs? Right now, this moment is your chance to decide, to become a finisher, to sculpt your legacy with every promise kept, every fear faced, every day you show up. Make that decision every day when you wake up. It should be the first thing you do. If you decided to finally make good on your promises to yourself for good, hit subscribe, because I'll be here every week to help you keep going and replenish your energy. And let me know in the comments, what phrase or quote keeps you going when you want to quit? Post more than one if you like. There should be 2 videos on the screen right now. Watch those 2 if you want to double the likelihood that this is the last time. And you're transformed for good. See you in the next one. Let's keep going. The next shift is waiting.